There you go. Alright. So, MegaMan 1 Take Guide, I know it's been a while, I'm sorry about that, been a bit busy. Been playing some other stuff too. It's not all good reasons to be busy. But, we're back with something we have been asked about a lot actually, a really requested video. How to Edgeguard. How do you Edgeguard with as MegaMan? How do you recover properly? How does all of that work? Well, it's time to show you. Let's go with, which music should we take today? Kirby? Kirby has good music, right? Where's the stage? Did they remove Great Cave of Fence? No, it's right there. Make sure I get this. Oh, that could be pretty good. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so basically, let's start this with you need to know about both edgeguarding and ledgetrapping. There is a difference between both and how you can actually react to both. How you can set up to both. Like, it's different. You need to know when people talk about which. Basically, ledge trapping refers to when the opponent is grabbing the ledge. How does he get up? You can force him into getting up in certain ways by throwing a hit. Like, let's say I'm right here and I throw a blade like that. The opponent, if they try and wait on the ledge, they will get hit. Or just down here, like that. If they don't do anything, they're gonna get hit. So at this point, I force them to do an option. Then, by also, if like I do down air here, there is no way that they will just come up like that, because if they jump or drop like that, they're gonna get hit anyway. So I know that they're either gonna get up normally, roll, or attack. Because these are basically the three options that they don't get hit by going up there. Obviously there's better coverage than that. I will cover them a little later in the video. That was just to explain the difference. And edge guarding refers to when the person is not at the ledge. So when like they're trying to recover from here. You can force them to recover low, high, and whatnot. But I'm gonna go over basically how this works. But this is the edge guard versus the ledge guard. So just know the difference, basically. That's all this part meant. And now, you need to know about, you've probably heard the term like, oh, this person got two-framed and whatnot. Basically, it's the animation where you grab the ledge. Not sure if you can really see it. Maybe on the other side you'll see it a little more if I push him here. Like, MegaMan does a small grabbing animation. That's true on all the characters. That's what we refer to as the two-frame, because during that animation, you are not invincible. Which means, if someone times like a meteor, a spike basically, at that timing, they're gonna get it. If they launch a hitbox that can reach, they're gonna hit you. So that's what refers to be two-frame. It's someone getting into these two frames of vulnerability. Also, speaking of invulnerability, let me explain to you real quick how ledge invulnerability works. Of course, you only get it the first time you grab the ledge. As you can see, like, if I'm on stage, I go to the ledge, I'm invincible. But if I'm at the ledge, after being invincible, and I just go back to it, like, I am not invincible anymore. Also, you can only grab the ledge 5 times. After that, you just don't grab it. So be careful about regrabbing, because most of the players you will face will actually punish you for grabbing, and if you try and mess up too much like that, well, you just don't grab it anymore at some point. Other than that, how ledge invincibility also works is the longer you've been out of the stage, the longer you will be invincible. If I go to high percent, that should show more. because the higher percent you are, the least you'll be invincible at the ledge. Like right now, if I go on it, you see this isn't as long as it was earlier. But if I go all the way here, like this lasts so much longer. Wait, it only affected Game & Watch. Okay. Okay. Why does... I wanted it to affect me too. Okay. Let me do this real quick. Okay. There you go. Okay, these are the basic controls. Okay. So as you can see, if I go on the ledge, like that takes like barely, I'm not even sure it's even a second. But if I go all the way here, oops, wrong button, my bad. I'm using the Pro for him, so if I do this, see how much longer that was compared to this? That basically, the longer you've been in the air, off stage, the longer the invincibility will be, which is much more noticeable at higher percent. But let's say you're off stage and I hit you with a lemon, the timer is reset. So that's one of the reasons why MegaMan is so good off stage and whatnot. Because if you hit them and like just a lemon, like oh, if they're barely above the stage, or when they jump they just peak slightly like that above the stage, and you're just throwing lemons, you will reset that timer. So sometimes you can like, they're maybe at 140, you haven't killed them yet, you just hit them with a lemon into the air, because they will be invincible for like such a short time that they will actually get hit by it. Let's move on. I think I've spent enough time on how this works. If you got any question about it, feel free to ask in the comments. Now, there's a magic position, I'd like to call it that, near the ledge. It's around here. Basically, probably around here, actually. Because what this does is that if the opponent does a get-up attack, it doesn't hit you. If they jump to recover, you can cover it by just going with a fair like that. If they're the only way that they can go about and roll and dodge it is like if they're wrong button. If they roll, they end up behind you. But as you can see, like bold of you to roll for someone in Shoryuken range. So you could just turn around and Shoryu, because you can react to it. If they normal get up, you can just do a single dash into grab. If they are to, they can drop and jump like that. But then again, you can react to that still. So you can pretty much react to anything, and simply by doing a dash back into reverse forward smash like that. Like you see, I barely even move, but that's just enough so that when Game & Watch will roll, he will not go past me, so I'm just gonna end up charging forward smash a bit, and then I release it right into them. While if they are doing a normal get up at this point, I just let go of the forward smash faster, just like that. While if they're rolling, I have more time to charge it. If they are to jump, well, I can release it fast. It might hit, it might not, but I still cover normal get up and roll get up. And if they attack get up, it's the same timing as normal get up. So that's 3 options covered. And if they just wait at the ledge, well, I can just keep charging and eventually full charge. Depending on the map, on the character, it might hit them. For the list of characters, I don't know if it's actually been made so far. Probably, I'd like to think. In the MegaMan Discord, you could find it. Or just ask around. There's bound to be someone who has that. So yeah, that's kind of like the magic position for me, where you just go there and you're ready to do anything. If you have problems, quick tip, if you have problems turning around and don't have the stick jump in your controls, you can just slam your stick upwards and barely tilted. This makes it way easier to just nudge the stick left to right. Plus, most of the time when you want to pivot like that, you actually want to have tilt anyway. So you're already set for that. Just a quick tip. Another way that MegaMan can ledge trap is obviously with a blade. Like, just Z-drop at the ledge or generate it like that. Or, if you're at the right position, which is pretty much close to here, you can do this. By doing the blade like that, as you saw earlier like this, it goes super close to the ledge. By throwing this, like, okay, this one was good. By doing this, the enemy, if they are waiting at the ledge, they see a hitbox coming towards them. The truth is, they will almost always try and get up at this point. But, if they don't, the blade will pop them off slightly above the stage. So you can actually react and do a down tilt to send them flying. It's not the best cover, but it's still a win and free damage. Why not take it? Like, this does 10% around and down till 6. So it's like 16% right there. And it's not like, oh, that's all you're getting. No, after that it's a reset. They're going back to the ledge. Like, ooh, leg. Like, oh, they're back at the stage. So yeah, you're actually just getting more out of it. And now for the actual Edgeguard, there's a fancy one that's pretty cool, but it takes time to set up because you need to get the blade out and then go out there. So it only works if they're like, you've sent them flying maybe, oh, that was actually, I forgot how light Game & Watch actually was. So it, like, this, I didn't even have time for it. So you really need to send them flying really far to then go and try to do it. So it's not the most reliable one, but it's pretty stylish. Because if you actually have time to pull it off, there's not a lot of things that they can do about it. Let me show you what it is about. I'll go on this side, just so the camera is better. Let me do the full motion first. What this was is basically you Z-drop in the air, then you jump back here, which will recatch the blade, and then you up B back to stage, and right before you get back to stage, you want to Z-drop again. This doesn't delay when you grab the stage and whatnot, so it's really good. So yeah, by doing this, the blade covers them. If they try to go low, the back air will get them, so they have to go super low at this point. If they do, then the metal blade will hit them if you drop it properly at the right timing. By the time their up B comes, they will get hit by the blade. They'll get slightly pop-up, which means you can follow it up by doing this. I missed the Z-drop, but you get the idea. Which will allow you to get almost a free dare, so that's a really, really good Edgeguard. But, again, it takes time to set up. But if you can get it, it's a stock, pretty much. After that, you need to know also about the easier ones, I guess. But first, to help you know when to do which. No. First off, if you want to practice the stylish one, because it's pretty much just a combination of stuff, you just do it on stage. Like, you can get used to doing that. Just dropping it, jumping back like that. The timing will be the same anyway, so that's a good way to practice it. And then you can, if you don't grab the, no, okay, let me not go over that. And then you can just practice, like, okay, you have the blade, you up B into drop, like, you can just mess around on stage and practice it over there. If there's a platform, you can actually do it on stage, so maybe Smashville. Don't do it in an actual game, I just mean for practicing. Other than that, there's some easier Edgeguards, like just going out there and throwing out the fair and everything. Most of the time, when you want to go out there so that it doesn't backfire, either you do a low commitment one where you're just like shooting lemons like this, or if you want to go for a harder commitment one, like let's say you're going out here just to try and get them. The point is, you need to make sure that you will be the one getting back on stage first. If you're not sure you're going to get back, sometimes it's a good idea, sometimes not. But the main point on when you'll know that the odds are on your favor is if you can catch the opponent's jump off stage. If you can make them jump and just send them back off stage on something, or like, oh, they just jumped in neutral, you grab them before they hit the ground or hit them. Like, if you catch their jump, their recovery becomes super linear, so you know where they're going to be. So that's when you can go out there and punish them. Yeah, so that's one. Basically, if it's low, you can just fair, go back towards the stage, and wall jump into another fair. Because then they have to wait for the first, and the second one will often hit them. I believe I talked about it in the Crash Bomb video, but let me do a quick recap. To wall jump, basically you have to get as close as possible to the wall, and you don't press jump. You literally just press the opposite direction. So right now I'm just pressing right. When I hit I'm touching it, I press right. So that just a quick recap to make sure, so that you don't have to go back and search around the video. So yeah, these are the easier edge guards. There's also like just back air out there. Like they're pretty straightforward, but they're super efficient. Do note, a lot of people underestimate how powerful Nair is offstage. If you get the strong hit, look at how this sends them. It is super vertical, and just like that, it can kill super easily. So do not underestimate going for a Nair sometimes. Yeah. As to how to choose which ones you're gonna do, depends on if they have their jump, because again, just a Nair like that, pretty low commitment. I don't know why I get that. But a Nair like that is just super low commitment. You can do whatever after. Fair isn't that much of a commitment either. But you might have to get closer, because sometimes you can just try and get their jump like that, and then you go for the edge guard. Back air will often kill earlier, simply because of the angle it sends the opponent, which is super horizontal. I've been saying vertical, but I meant horizontal all the time. Fair is super good now, super strong, but it does send them in an angle pretty much 45 degree. So it usually won't kill as early, simply because it will send them towards the corner of the blast zone. Yeah, how to choose them? Basically, it's when you recover, or your opponent recover, there is a danger zone, I like to call, which is basically this zone that I'm going to delimit right here. If you're inside here, you are actually in the worst position. This is the most easy place, like, oh, you're going high, I'm just going to hit you. I can fair and whatnot, or just even back here. You're going in the middle, I can just hit you with whatever, or even forward smash. They're going low, I can just hit you with a fair and send you flying back super far. So these are really, this is the danger zone. So do note that this applies to us also. This is the zone that obviously you have to go through at some point, but this is the spot that you want to be as least as possible there, because it is too easy to get edge guard. Yeah, I know I've went through a lot in this video. Hopefully this helped a lot with how to edgeguard in general. The main point to take out is look for the jump when they use it, and if they used it, go for the edgeguard. If they did not, you might want to try and go for the ledge trap instead. It's not always true, but I think that's a really good place to start. So yeah, if you have any question, just ask below in the comments, or you can just pop into one of my streams. The link is also in the description, and ask for the question. No matter which game I'm playing, it's always a pleasure to answer and help. Have a nice one.